What's up, guys? This is Chris from DraftDashboard.com.
Here are my DFS picks for NFL Week 15. Top DFS picks.
These picks apply for DraftKings and FanDuel. Before I get started, please drop a like on this video and hit that red subscribe button
And hit that bell icon
so you don't miss our new videos.
In this video, I'm going to go over my top picks for this week's NFL slate. And if you stick around to the very end of this video, we'll use the Draft Dashboard tools to make a DFS lineup using the picks we just made. Okay guys, NFL Week 15. Let's take a look at the quarterback position. So my top DFS pick at the quarterback position is Dak Prescott from the Dallas Cowboys, playing the Jacksonville Jaguars, who have the 9th worst defense overall, and they give up the 7th most fantasy points to opposing quarterbacks. Dak Prescott has averaged 17 fantasy points per game on the season. He gets an average of 3.1 rush attempts per game. He's projected at 19.3 fantasy points here in Week 15. He's $6,200 DraftKings salary, $1,300 more on FanDuel. Vegas thinks there's going to be 47.5 points scored in this game, with the Cowboys favored by 4.5. Now, Dak Prescott has scored 16, 18, and 17 fantasy points in the last 3 games. He got 6, 0, and 2 rush attempts in those games. So I do think Dak can score 20 plus fantasy points here this week. He's got a good matchup. I think this is a good game script as well. Somewhat high scoring game. Jacksonville Jaguars are actually pretty good, so they'll put up a fight. So I like Dak Prescott here versus the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Before I continue with the picks, I'm excited today because we added a new contest for everyone watching.
If you want to enter the drawing for $25 PayPal,
all you need to do is like this video, hit that subscribe button, and make a quick comment below to be entered into the drawing. We'll reply to a random comment and let you know that you won.
And we'll send you $25 PayPal.
So it's that easy, and we pick a new winner every Saturday and announce them in our video. So get your comment in now so I can add another entry for you.
Okay, let's take a look at the running back position. My top DFS pick at the running back position is Miles Sanders from the Philadelphia Eagles, playing the Chicago Bears, who have a middle-of-the-pack defense overall. They give up the 3rd most fantasy points to opposing running backs. Miles Sanders has averaged 16 fantasy points per game on the season, getting an average of 15.7 rush attempts per game and 1.8 pass targets per game. So he's projected at 13.1 fantasy points here in Week 15, but I think he can score 16 fantasy points or more. He's $6,500 DraftKings salary, $1,300 more on FanDuel. Vegas thinks there's going to be 48.5 points scored in this game, with the Eagles favored by 9. So Miles Sanders has scored 32, 12, and 34 fantasy points in the last 3 games off of 17, 10, and 21 rush attempts on top of 3, 2, and 3 pass targets. So he's getting some pretty decent volume, over 20 touches 2 out of the last 3 weeks, over 30 fantasy points 2 out of the last 3 weeks. Now, he's got a good matchup here in a high-scoring game, and this could be a running game script as the Eagles likely play this game ahead of the Chicago Bears. So I like Miles Sanders here versus the Chicago Bears.
Real quick, guys, I got great news. For a limited time, we're offering a full 30-day trial to Draft Dashboard. You can try all the tools for NFL. NBA is right around the corner. This is a great time to get in and try everything for 1 month. The tools are all about saving research time. You can see the last 3 games, the fantasy points per game, the targets they got per game so you can see how involved they are in the offense, the rushes they got per game. Seeing all this stuff on one screen helps you save time and make better picks. Oh, and if you're tired of doing research every day, we just added a cheat sheet that shows hand-picked plays for the slate. No confusing stat lines, no headaches, just a simple cheat sheet that shows the absolute best players for your lineups. Okay, let's take a look at the wide receiver position. My top DFS pick at the wide receiver position is Keenan Allen from the LA Chargers playing the Tennessee Titans, who have the 5th worst defense overall. They give up the absolute most fantasy points to opposing wide receivers. Keenan Allen has averaged 14.2 fantasy points per game on the season, gets an average of 8.2 pass targets per game. He's projected at 15.5 fantasy points here in week 15. He's 6,800 DraftKings salary, 1,200 more on FanDuel. Vegas thinks there's going to be 46 points scored in this game, with the Chargers favored by 3. Keenan Allen has scored 21, 21, and 16 fantasy points in the last 3 games off of 14, 14, and 7 pass targets. So he got 28 pass targets in the last 2 games. Monster volume, monster production, fantastic matchup. So I like Keenan Allen here versus the Tennessee Titans. Okay, moving on to the tight end position. My top DFS pick at the tight end position is Dalton Schultz from the Dallas Cowboys playing the Jacksonville Jaguars, who have the 9th worst defense overall, and they give up the 6th most fantasy points to opposing tight ends. Dalton Schultz has averaged 9.2 fantasy points per game on the season, getting an average of 5.6 pass targets per game. He's projected at 10.8 fantasy points here in week 15. He's 4,400 DraftKings salary, 2,100 more on FanDuel. So I love that DraftKings price. And Vegas thinks there's going to be 47.5 points scored in this game, with the Cowboys favored by 4.5. Now, Dalton Schultz has scored 15, 5, and 19 fantasy points in the last 3 games off of 10, 6, and 4 pass targets. So great matchup, a good game script here, and I think you could stack Dalton Schultz with Dak Prescott. So I like Dalton Schultz here versus the Jacksonville Jaguars.
If you want to try all these daily fantasy tools for yourself, click the link in the description below this video or just go to draftdashboard.com. You can use our DFS lineup optimizer to build quality lineups using our picks and your own custom player pool. Click the link in the description below this video and try all these daily fantasy tools right now. Thanks so much for watching. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that bell icon so you can get instant updates whenever we post a new video.
Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oh, and please comment below with your favorite player for this NFL slate. I love to hear what you guys have to think. Thanks again and good luck.